And it's all about that placement of those hissy fits as a zoning tool. Unless you want to take a fight with absurd damage amplification, you need to play around wherever the hissy fit is at the beginning of the fight. And he just so brilliantly always manages to put it in the most inconvenient place. So I don't even think mobility is the answer to that kind of clever play. I don't think there's any amount of mobility that makes up for the fact that you're denied the most useful ground in every fight. Maestro Snake, though, does get caught out in the middle of this. First blood goes to Empower with the pickup onto him. Bailey needs to play carefully because JaggeR is nearby, and JaggeR goes in hard. Gandalf takes the brunt of it, but there's the fireball coming through from AU to pick up Bailey. Magna tries to find the return onto JaggeR, but does not have the HP, really.
And Earless does get stunned up by the Ryomet and will go in. Should get burst down here, and it's curtains for him. Magna able to pick up the kill.
Empower opens up strong. The crush, though, goes in hard for the disengage. That gets Bailey able to escape, but Gandalf's already under pressure. Even though they found decent damage in the beginning, they do lose Magna very early on. JaggeR, though, might have leaned out too far. The tower takes its toll. I mean, this tower is up for pickings. Murphy goes in. Death from above finds one. He almost gets the second as well. Bailey finally calls it a day, but Murphy is building up quite the early game. Two towers actually properly under threat here as the hissy fit comes through again. Maestro cannot provide support from this. Magna will go down. Dark Dominion is popped by Bailey to try and hold the tower, but I don't think it's enough because Bailey will fall. It's a matter of time. Really, Gandalf's come through, though. That might make all the difference. Murphy's already found two, but Gandalf with the indoor will survive for a while. Now the tower falls, and so too does he. Maestro might go down as well as Earless has a deep dive. The high mobility of Zuka finding its reward.
To bring it through, go for these coordinated dives, but Alexander has one of his own. Will he be able to stand up to it?
Alexander going in deep might be able to get Earless. I think the lifesteal on Zuka's too strong, but the fact that Magna is here nearby might add up. Alexander goes down. They find the site, though. Dark Dominion popped onto 3. This is a dangerous fight, but a winnable one. AU is barely able to escape, but he does nonetheless, using that explosive KO ultimate. Purely for mobility purposes, Empower might be tagged down, but again, the hissy fit will be up there as a slow, and they're just barely managing to escape. Now Earless recommits. Gandalf will get Empower, but two are grabbed in return, and that is not a good trade at all.
There's very little that GamerVil seem to be able to do.
Bailey caught out again. Earless and AU commit hard. Murphy is the follow-up. They have so much CC when they decide it's necessary. Oh, actually, Gandalf might be under threat. They don't retreat fast enough. They don't see the problem. Bailey pops the Dark Dominion, but he is the sacrificial lamb. Maestro tries to save him, but Empower will be able to tank him up, and actually they might lose two because of this. Earless goes in hard. He'll annihilate Gandalf with quick assassination. Magna's very low as well. Alexander finds a triple knockup, but his aggression is unanswered. It's unfollowed up on Maestro. Falls to Murphy in the meantime, who will fall and trade to tower. But I don't think that's enough because they've lost another tower in mid.
They're going to take down this high ground turret as well, and Magna was zoned out of the fight completely, and that they can manage that aggression really, really very well is going to be so difficult to deal with. I mean, I didn't even interrupt myself because Alexander was obviously just going to die there. I'm sorry, but it's...
Why on earth would you pressure in alone like that, and you pay the price? Now your team will as well. Gandalf's annihilates. They use on a rampage. Bailey's trying to hold some modicum of self-respect, but their respect, their dignity, much like their chances in this game, are gone.
They've got the Zuka, they've got the damage, and that is going to be game number 1 of this best of 5 series, going over to Team JaggeR in a convincing fashion. Do I speak again now? Is that my turn?
Look, I'm sorry, I was pushy earlier. I don't want to, put you on defensive.
We're really good at handovers, guys, I promise. Looking at this lineup, I would say just based on the picks, it's definitely in the favor of GamerVil. But given the performance that we've seen from Power on that Alice, the Zuka as well from Earless has just been so good. Because those rubbish ones, those cones.
And
There's first blood, by the way. But those cones that you get like at the gym not that I ever go to the gym, but you get those paper cones that just fall apart as soon as you put any water in them, and I think they're made of paper. I think that it's kind of just almost like just unnecessary, because it's not like, it's kind of just superfluous and a waste of paper, to be honest. Save the trees, man.
Well, in the meantime, there's been significant action here. The first 3 make that 4 kills, all in favor of Team JaggeR. One response did come out from GamerVil, but they've been unable to find much, including the Abyssal Dragon. JaggeR will go a nice lasso of truth there from the Wonder Woman. Airless gets their breakfast served to them. There will be a nice Malik ultimate, the Crush trying to come through, but Airless has already picked up all the teammates who could follow up, so Alexander will fall as well. And it's all down to Magna down here on the bot lane.
Well, I'll tell you who else is going to hate the paper cup analogy right now is Valley, because that's certainly not ringing true with him at all as he gets burst down. Murphy on that crick neck, able to step up already. 3 kills on the board.
Should fall in trade. There's the cross from Alexander. It'll come in and knock up Murphy, but AU is here. They need to disengage, I think. But they don't think so. They're hanging round. Murphy's recommitting. He's finding another. Bailey falls. Earless comes in. They get more. As Earless assists for Alexander. And how on earth did that work? Manpower and Murphy, they're hunting for Magna as well. And they completely destroy him underneath the tower. JaggeR has to play carefully around it. As it gets its full extent. And now they go in for Gandalf and Earless. My God. Are you leveled up? Oh my God, the fancy footwork almost gets him out, but he's too greedy. Instead of continuing to retreat, he takes a step back towards Maestro.
Abyssal Dragon being started up. Murphy should just be able to take that one down. He could have soloed it, but AU was there ready to help. But in the top lane, it's 2v4, and it seems like they're still winning it, Team JaggeR.
What are you doing? He goes in 2v4, sure enough, and Earless shows up as well, and all of a sudden it's all in their favour. Earless annihilates Bailey, looks for more. Maestro's got no HP, there's the hissy fit. It's great timing, it's great placement, and the cleanup is swift. It's a team ace, it's Murphy and Earless demolishing an entire team.
Doesn't matter how tanky you are, doesn't matter how many items you have, you're that far behind, you're going to struggle. 2 kills on the board, your core's falling, 9 minutes on the clock, and that is Team JaggeR absolutely running away with a stellar performance in game number 2 of this best of 5 series.
That's okay. I know what words are sometimes. We are into, of course, the finals. Do you think at this level that has much of an impact? Obviously you can talk about it when you get to absurdly large stages, but while that has an impact on pro players, I feel like maybe a smaller stage has the same impact on players who are taking their first steps into competitive gaming. If you've never played before the grand finals of a community cup, it does mess with you. Murphy will contest. There's the advantage of being grouped up. They should get that kill. Now you actually strides a little bit too far in for my taste. He will be able to get away with his explosive KO ultimate. However, the rest of the team is here. Bailey will be under threat. There's the nice placeless submission for the Wonder Woman. JaggeR's time down deep underneath the tower. And Maestro will be able to pick 2 up in that fight. Murphy and JaggeR both down independently.
A very overzealous play coming out from Murphy, and it seems like another one's going to follow it. They're just going to get jumped on. Not too sure what he's doing. That is absolutely way too aggressive for them to go. They got the Abyssal Dragon.
That might make a more tangential difference because you don't have the Mists of Pandaria, Panda, and Bailey pressing very far forward. Will try and contest. Maestro needs to back off. They need to play very carefully indeed here, and they will do exactly that, turning the fight around, leveling all their damage onto JaggeR. He barely escapes. The Thunderbird doesn't quite connect, but it does now onto Murphy. Magna will need to accelerate out of there as quickly as he can, and I think he might just be able to do that. The Superman's so fast. Earless is chasing him as hard as he can, but he spent all his mobility, and now the rest of the team is here. Empower can't hold this for him. They need to fall back behind the tower, and that's exactly what they do. Another team fight to GamerVil.
He can disrupt your backline so easily, and you just have to deal with him. Speaking of having to deal with them, AU gets dealt with.
Exactly that. Thunderbird comes through from Alexander, finds the kill.
Whereas GamerVil are splitting their resources, they're pushing side to side. You can see the bot wave coming in, and finally they do find a fight, but Vayle's looking to run away with it as Magna wades in.
They do manage to catch off Bailey, but in the meantime, Earless needs to take on 2. Double kill for Empower in the fight. He gets Magna as well. Maestro is too close to this fight. This is bad positioning. Maestro should have been nowhere near that tight group of players, and he falls as a result. Earless is quite low, so he won't be contesting this anytime soon, but they will contest aggressively. Virus gets 1 before it goes, but that was enough.
They do clear the wave. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get the shield up, otherwise it might have been a little bit more of a bloodbath there. Pretty much have all the advantages there, but Earless tries to steal away the dragon.
Did he just steal that?
Did he get it? He got it?
Earless got it! And now JaggeR is under threat, but he will be able to retreat. Empower's coming through from behind. Vayle's already gone. Empower finds him. And now this looks devastating if Empower can just stay alive. JaggeR, though, does go down. Earless joins him. Virus will fall in trade. It's only a matter of time, but he's able to escape before Murphy comes through. And there you go, a team ace. I said the ticket back into the game would be Earless, and he proves why.
This fight could be pretty crucial. They don't have the Wonder Woman. It was used down the bottom lane, but Virus is low nonetheless.
Oh, he's destroyed. Earless comes through as well. Magna leans into the backside and is absolutely picked up. Vayle might find one, but no, he does not. He gets destroyed as well. The aggression from Murphy is unhindered and unstoppable. They find so much damage. There's only one defender remaining. That's Maestro. I'd love to see a Darkslayer actually here from Team JaggeR. They were behind earlier. Now they're in the driver's seat.
Don't know if you caught that, but Earless was able to dash through Magna and actually negate the knockup, but he's not going to be able to negate a full 100-0 burst of damage coming out from Maestro and the rest of his team.
And Alexander and Magna are just playing further and further back. Maestro will join them as they're just completely cowed in the face of this aggression. And that is not a look that you want. Not when you're up 5-4. Murphy comes under the tower even before Magna tries to find a return. I don't really think he has this, but Maestro and Vayle will turn around now. The standing tall leads the way. JaggeR's knocked down to half the HP. The healing does come through. Very aggressive from Virus. Virus is a dangerous mistake, but they clean up nicely. Magna comes through. He finds two, and they're looking for the third. Murphy is barely able to escape, and GamerVil are back in the game. Darkslayer, and that litmus test is so far completely unchecked. They go hard aggressive. Maestro will fall. Vayle tries to tie things up. AU will have the backup he needs when that happens. No, when Empower leans through, and they find their marks hitting true. They now have 2 kills to their name. That's enough for Darkslayer should they want it. Unless they get at least 2 towers, it'll all be a cost. They will give it their best attempt, though, and oh my god, that works well. Chaos Protection pays off. Earless comes through as well with the knockups on Judge Dredd. This should be game as the high ground falls. Abyssal Dragon is picked up by Maestro, but Maestro, you might want to check in on things at home. Do you have one of those new security cameras you can access?
Don't worry, guys. I've got Abyssal Dragon. I'm going to go back to base in a minute. Oh, dear. The core goes down, and Team JaggeR take a 3rd game, rallying off a poor start. But nonetheless, they are a team to be reckoned with, and they're bringing it to the Antares battlefield, certainly putting GamerVil to the test. And they come up wanting.